the sales revenue of a company times 100.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Central University, yours is quick ratio of 1.8. Quick ratio of 1.8.
So a quick ratio of 1.8 indicates that the firm is liquid and it's able to cover its current assets, current liabilities with the amount of resources it sells from the assets. So it indicates efficiency, but too high a quick ratio might indicate that the entity might not be very prudent in managing its cash in terms of investment options.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Essentially, what you are explaining is the current ratio. You need to understand the fact that with quick ratio, the concept of inventory, you have to explain, will need to be mentioned. I hope that is clear. Now, for you, AT, you went about without, you just mentioned the percentage figure without indicating or converting it into perhaps amount, indicating that for every sales that they make, at least 40% or 40 pesos out of 1 CD sales will translate into a gross profit. That is why I give you 2 out of 3. For our next set of questions, we are beginning with Central University. Central University, which leadership style under the Blake and Morton managerial grade is characterized by high concern for people and low concern for production? Which leadership style under the Blake and Morton managerial grade is characterized by high concern for people and low concern for production?
Socialist leadership style.
No. Bonus available to ATU?
Club country management.
That is correct. Now to you, ATU. Which leadership style under the Blake and Morton managerial grade is characterized by high concern for production and low concern for people? Which leadership style under the Blake and Morton managerial grade is characterized by high concern for production and low concern for people?
Team management.
No, not team management. Bonus available. Okay, it is tax management, authoritarian, or even produce or perish style. Next set, still beginning with Central University. Central. Now for this round, 1 attempt only. 1 attempt only. I hope that is clear. Central. Now the element of the balanced scorecard approach or model, which handles how well information is captured and how effectively the staff is able to use that information to convert it into a competitive advantage, is known as the element of the balanced scorecard, which handles how well information is captured and how effectively the staff is able to use that information to convert it into a competitive advantage, is known as
internal business process.
No. 1 attempt only. Do you want to attempt the bonus? I won't mention the answer now. Now your major question. ATU. The element of the balance scorecard, which analyzes operations to track any gaps, delays, bottlenecks, shortages, or wastages, is known as the element of the balance scorecard, which analyzes operations to track any gaps, delays, bottlenecks, shortages, or wastages, is known as?
Internal perspective.
That is correct. So for Central University, your answer was learning and growth. Learning and growth. Our last set of questions for this round, we begin from Accra Technical University. Last set of questions. ATU. What measure of variation is used to compare the relative dispersion of data sets with different means or units? What measure of variation is used to compare the relative dispersion of data sets with different means or units?
Skewness.
No. You have one last chance. Even bailout. Bonus for Central University.
Poisson's distribution.
No, please. It is the coefficient of variation. Now to you, Central University. What measure of variability is used to describe the spread of data points in relation to the overall average? What measure of variability is used to describe the spread of data points in relation to the overall average?
Skewness.
No, please. You have one last chance.
Normal distribution.
Certainly not correct. Bonus available to ATU.
Weighted mean.
No, please. It is known as standard deviation. And on that note, we come to the end of round one. How is it going so far, Central University?
This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. Certainly, there are about 4 or 5 more rounds to go. ATU, how is it going for you so far?
So,
Please don't cover the mic.
before a game will be okay. It starts from the beginning.
At the end of round one, Central University had 2 points. Accra Technical University had 6 points. We are going into round 2, which will involve calculations. You are free to use your calculators. Now in this round, each of you have the opportunity of answering 5 major questions. If you get your major question correct, that is 3 points. If it's a bonus question, you have 1 point. 2 attempts only at a major question, 1 attempt at a bonus, unless otherwise indicated. 30 seconds within which to give an answer for a major. For a bonus is just 5 seconds. Please, are we okay? ATU, Central, are we okay? We begin this round from Central University. Central University, Graphic Communications Group has 2 divisions with the following data. Division 1, sales is 400,000 cedis, variable cost 250,000 cedis, fixed cost is 100,000 cedis. Division 2, sales 600,000 cedis, variable cost 350,000 cedis, and the fixed cost is 150,000 cedis. Your question is to calculate the overall PV ratio for the company and determine the break-even point in sales cedis as for the combined operations. Let me take the question again. Graphic Communication has 2 divisions with the following data. Division 1 has sales of 400,000 cedis, variable cost of 250,000 cedis, and fixed cost of 100,000 cedis. The second division has sales of 600,000 cedis, variable cost 350,000 cedis, and fixed cost of 150,000 cedis. You have to calculate the overall PV ratio for the company and determine the break-even point in cedis for the combined operations.
PV ratio is 40% and the break-even sales is 625,000.
That is correct. That is correct. ATU, Glyco Limited, operates two divisions with the following data. Sales of 300,000 cedis, that's for division 1. Sales of 300,000 cedis, variable cost of 180,000 cedis, and fixed cost of 80,000 cedis. Division 2, sales of 500,000 cedis, variable cost 300,000 cedis, and fixed cost of 120,000 cedis. Calculate the overall PV ratio for the company and determine the break-even point in sales for the combined operations. I take it again. Glyco Life operates two divisions with the following data. Division 1 has sales of 300,000 cedis, variable cost 180,000 cedis, fixed cost of 80,000 cedis. Division 2, sales of 500,000 cedis, variable cost 300,000 cedis, fixed cost of 120,000 cedis. Your question is to calculate the overall PV ratio for the company and determine the break-even point in cedis for the combined entity. You've been bailed out. Bonus for Central University.
So the PV ratio is 40% and the break-even in sales is 500,000.
That is correct. For our next set, we will still start with Central University. Central. The Bank of Ghana adjusts the reserve requirement ratio from 10% to 12%. If the initial money supply was 1 million cedis, calculate the new money supply after the change in the reserve requirement ratio and the percentage increase in money supply, assuming all other factors remain constant and there are no leakages. The Bank of Ghana adjusts the reserve requirement ratio from 10% to 12%. If the initial money supply was 1 million cedis, calculate the new money supply after the change in the reserve requirement ratio and the percentage increase in money supply, assuming all other factors remain constant and there are no leakages.
So the percentage increase is 25% and the new money supply is 5 million.
Definitely not correct. Bonus for ATU.
The reserve is, or the money supply is 880,000, and then the percentage change is 97.7.
No, that is not correct. The money supply is 8,330,000 and the percentage change is negative 16.67%. Now to your major question, ATU. The central bank adjusts the reserve requirement ratio from 8% to 6%. If the initial money supply was 2.5 million cedis, calculate the new money supply after the change in the reserve requirement ratio and the percentage increase in money supply, assuming all other factors remain constant and there are no leakages. The central bank adjusts the reserve requirement ratio from 8% to 6%. If the initial money supply was 2.5 million cedis, calculate the new money supply after the change in the reserve requirement ratio and the percentage increase in money supply, assuming all other factors remain constant and there are no leakages.
So the new money supply is 4,067,67, and then the change is 16.67.
No, I won't take that.
So it's
You have one.
41,666. 41,666,606.
No, that is not correct. You've exhausted your two chances. Bonus for Central University.
So the new money supply is 3,333,333.33, and the percentage is 33.3%.
How did you get this correct and yours wrong? Because the answer you just gave is correct. How did you do this without getting yours correct? Okay, that's fine. So for our next set of questions, we begin with ATU. ATU are starting the next set for us. NSJC Limited has the following financial information for the year. Current asset, 500,000 cedis. Current liabilities, 300,000 cedis. Inventory, 100,000 cedis. Account receivable, 80,000 cedis. Prepaid expenses, 20,000 cedis. Short-term investments, 50,000 cedis. Cash and cash equivalent, 30,000 cedis. Now your task is to calculate the current ratio, the quick ratio, and the cash ratio. I take it again. NSJC Limited has the following financial information. Current asset is 500,000. Current liability is 300,000. Inventory, 100,000 cedis. Account receivable, 80,000. Prepaid expenses, 20,000. Short-term investment, 50,000. And the cash and cash equivalent is 30,000. Your duty is to calculate for me the current ratio, quick ratio, as well as the cash ratio. ATU.
So the current ratio is 1.67. The quick ratio is 1.33. And the cash ratio is 0.06.
2 out of 3. So the cash ratio is wrong, but the other two are correct. Now to you. Central University. Emmanuel Amamu Limited reports the following financial information. Current assets, 600,000. Current liabilities, 400,000. Inventory, 150,000 cedis. Account receivable, 100,000. Prepaid expenses, 30,000. Short-term investments, 80,000. Cash and cash equivalent, 50,000. Your duty is to calculate the current ratio, quick ratio, and the cash ratio. I take it again. Emmanuel Amamu Limited reports the following financial information. Current assets, 600,000. Current liabilities, 400,000. Inventories, 150,000. Account receivable, 100,000. Prepaid expenses, 30,000. Short-term investment, 80,000. And the cash and cash equivalent, 50,000. Calculate for me the current ratio, the quick ratio, as well as the cash ratio.
Current asset ratio is 1.5. quick ratio is 1.125. Then cash ratio is 0.2667.
2 out of 3. So you got the current ratio and the quick ratio correct. The cash ratio is 0.325. It is simply your most liquid asset, that is a short-term investment plus your cash and cash equivalent all over your current liabilities. Okay? Yes. Our next set of questions, still beginning with Accra Technical University, ATU. Okay. So, Jacob Doku produces a product with a variable cost of 30 cedis per unit and fixed cost of 20,000 cedis per month. The company wants to achieve a 50% markup on total cost. Calculate the selling price assuming 100 units are produced and sold. Jacob Doku produces a product with a variable cost of 30 cedis per unit and fixed cost of 20,000 cedis per month. The company wants to achieve a 50% markup on total cost. Calculate the selling price assuming 1,000 units are produced and sold. Even bailed out. Bonus for Central University.
The selling price is 34,500.
No, please. It is 75 cedis. Your major question, Central University. Central University. Prosper Azuma has produced a product with a variable cost of 40 cedis per unit and fixed cost of 25,000 cedis per month. The company wants to achieve a 40% markup on total cost. Calculate the selling price assuming 1,000 units are produced and sold. Prosper Azuma has a product with a variable cost of 40 cedis per unit and fixed cost of 25,000 cedis per month. The company wants to achieve a 40% markup on total cost. Calculate the selling price assuming 1,000 units are produced and sold.
We have it to be 56.
No, certainly not. Bonus for ATU. All right. Please be speaking into the microphones. Okay. We beg you. It is streaming, so we need to let everyone hear you. The correct answer is 91 cedis. 91 cedis. Now the last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions, we begin with Central University. Our last set. David Abel is a VAT registered trader dealing in both taxable and exempt supplies. He provides you with the following information. Value of taxable supplies is 500,000 cedis. Value of exempt supplies is 250,000 cedis. Input tax not directly attributable was 20,000 cedis. What is the value of the claimable input tax? I take it again. David Abel is a VAT registered trader dealing in both taxable and exempt supply. He provides you with the following information. The value of taxable supplies is 500,000. Value of exempt supplies is 250,000. And the input tax that is not directly claimable or attributable is 20,000 cedis. What is the value of the claimable input tax?
17,500.
No. You have one last chance.
$55,000.
That is also not correct. Bonus for ATU.
$375,000.
No. The correct answer is 13,333.33. Now your major question, ATU. Yvonne Ayi is a VAT registered trader who deals with both taxable and exempt supplies. She provides you with the following information. Value of taxable supplies 40,000. Value of exempt supplies 70,000. Input tax that is not directly attributable is 15,000. What is the value of the claimable input tax? I take it again. Yvonne Ayi is a VAT registered trader dealing with both taxable and exempt supplies. She provides you with the following information. Value of taxable supplies 40,000. Value of exempt supplies 70,000. Input tax not directly attributable is 15,000. And what is the value of the claimable input tax?
$9,545.45.
Come again. Speak into the microphone.
9,545.45.
No, that is not correct. You have one last chance.
$73,333.33.
No, that is not correct. Bonus available to Central University. It is 5,454.55. Okay, so to determine the value of the claimable input tax, now the input tax that is claimable relates to only the taxable supplies. So if you make both taxable and exempt supplies, to find the value that is claimable, assuming you have input tax that is not directly attributable, it's just a fraction or a ratio. The value of taxable supplies over the total supply that was made times the value, the input tax that is not directly attributable. I hope we get that. Yes. So on that note, we come to the end of round 2. Please show some love, show some love. We still have 4 rounds to go. Yeah, so they have 4 more to do more. All right. ATU, how is it going? Has it changed?
Work in progress.
It is work in progress. Okay, so the narrative is changing small, right? Yeah. Central University, how is it going?
We are hoping for the best.
Yeah, certainly hoping for the best, ladies and gentlemen. The scores for round 2. At the end of round 2. Accra Technical University had 2 points. Central University had 7 points. We are going into the round 3, which is the business case of the day. In this round, both schools have a common problem. It is a very simple problem. They are supposed to work as a team and come up with one solution, which will be compared with what we have and marks awarded accordingly. Please, you may take your problem. It is very simple, something on business management. Okay, so let's read it together. You are to explain the principle of centralization and how it can impact decision making and organizational effectiveness. Identify 5 factors that should be considered when determining the level of centralization in an organization. So as we can see, it is a very simple problem, our business problem of the day. They have a maximum of 10 minutes within which to provide an answer. Your time begins now. please stop work. So we gave the two schools a common problem, something on business management, centralization. I'm sure for any student who has gone through, or any business student, centralization is a concept that you may have studied and possibly practiced if you've ever been in any form of leadership position. Essentially, when we say centralization, is a degree to which power, authority, or decision making is concentrated at the top levels of an organization. Now, in centralized organizations, key decisions are made at the topmost or by a few top people or central authorities rather than being distributed or decentralized among various departments or lower level managers. So if you're able to give an explanation on what centralization is, that should earn you some 2 marks. The second part was for us to indicate how it impacts decision making and organizational effectiveness. Now, generally, in terms of impacts and organizational effectiveness, in terms of decision making, there is speed and consistency because decisions are taken by very few people. It tends to be faster. It tends to be consistent as well. And sometimes because there's expertise at that level, they're able to take decisions by the most experienced people. and that helps in achieving the organization strategy. For organizational effectiveness or efficiency, sometimes when you concentrate decision making at the top, it can reduce duplication of effort and also ensure that resources are allocated efficiently, etc. If you're able to produce something similar, not necessarily the same thing, but something that shows that you understand the principles, you have another 3 points. They were to mention 5 factors to consider when you are determining the level of centralization at the organization level. Now, essentially, the factors that can be considered if you want to determine how you should decentralize or how you should concentrate power, you may want to look at the nature of the business, perhaps the complexity, and then the scale. You want to also look at the strategic goals of the organization. You want to look at the geographical spread, whether they are divisions or the extent to which your branches or offices are spread across your operations, control and coordination needs, decision-making speed, the extent to which you want your decision to be fast or not. The culture of the organization, the management style could also be a factor, as well as the flow of information or communication. So these answers are not cast in stone. Depending on what you write, we may look at how related they are. Now let's begin by looking at what our people produced, beginning with Central University. Central University indicates that centralization is a system where decision making is concentrated at the top level management. That is acceptable. This can impact decision making in the sense that decision making will have to go through several levels of hierarchical procedures, thereby slowing down the organization's procedures and processes. Since subordinates will have to seek permissions or wait for orders from higher hierarchical levels, this removes employee creativity and stifles their innovation or innovativeness in thinking. It's fine, I'll accept that. Yeah, so the centralization, they got it correct. The impact on decision making, too, that can be accepted as well. Now, in terms of the factors to consider, first they mentioned availability of expertise, that is accepted. The nature of the organization can also impact. Then availability of resources to fund the implementation of your policies, that's accepted. But the 4th point they wrote was the skill level of subordinates. You've spoken about expertise. I wasn't expecting you to come and then speak about skills again, since they are almost referring to the same thing. The last one was organizational structure, and that may also be accepted. So for your effort, you got 9 out of 10. Accra Technical University. In terms of explanation, he said this is a form of decision making where decisions are made at the top level management or the head of the organization. In this form, low-level managers or employees do not have any decisions to take. It's fine, it's acceptable. How it can impact decisions. You said quick decision making, proper planning, reduces leakage of information, it helps to bring central source of information, it enhances organizational growth, brings about fast information delivery. All of these are acceptable. In terms of factors to consider, you said the size of the organization, that is correct. You also indicated the geographical location of its branches, that is fine. Okay, so this is where the problem begins. But then that's why you mentioned proximity of resources necessary or needed for production. I'm not so sure why you were veering off to production. Okay, because we're essentially talking about decision making. But proximity of resources for production, I'll accept this. The next one you spoke about, which is reliability of suppliers of raw materials, I don't think I want to accept that. Okay, but you have another one, which is the financial capacity of the organization. That is also accepted. So for your effort also, you get 9 out of 10. So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 3, the scores are as follows. Central University had 9 points. Accra Technical University had 9 points. Do we have any substitutions to make? Because we are going into the graphic business segment. And at this point, both schools will want to effect substitution. Gentlemen, you are welcome. Please speak into the microphone.
Thank you.
Kindly introduce yourself, begin from Central University.
I'm Amwa John, level 200 accounting student.
You are welcome, John. And who do we have from ATU?
I'm Nico Desmond, BTech Accounting and Finance Analytics, level 200.
You are welcome, Desmond. So, ladies and gentlemen, round 4A. Now, this is a graphic business segment. In this segment, I'm going to ask them some questions on stories that appeared in the graphic business newspaper. For the purpose of this contest, we are asking questions on stories that appeared in the 23rd and 30th July, as well as the 6th August editions of the graphic business newspaper. Each of you have the opportunity of answering 5 major questions. If you get your major question correct, that is 3 points. If it's a bonus question, you have 1 point. 10 seconds within which you give an answer for a major question, 5 seconds for a bonus. 2 attempts only at a major question and 1 attempt at a bonus, unless otherwise indicated. Please, are we ready? Central, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, ATU, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Please do not cover the microphone, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. We begin this round from Accra Technical University, but this is a common preamble to both schools. Common preamble. Let's look at the preamble. Political campaigns frequently dominate the media landscape, attracting the public's attention and diverting it away from normal economic activity. Dr. Andrews Ayiku of the UPSA outlines some practical marketing techniques that SMEs can use to handle the hurdles and capitalize on the opportunities given by the December 2024 elections. The question is for you to state and explain briefly to each of the techniques that he identified. I take the question again. Political campaigns frequently dominate the media landscape, attracting the public's attention and diverting it away from normal economic activities. Dr. Andrews Ayiku of the UPSA outlined some practical marketing techniques that SMEs can use to handle the hurdles and capitalize on the opportunity given by the December 2024 elections. You have to state and explain briefly to each of the techniques that he identified, beginning with ATU.
Okay, the first one is utilize the traditional media and then the timing strategy. So because majority of the media will be telecasting the campaigns of the political parties, they can utilize the time and then the time of doing the advert. And the next one is involving influencers and the key opinion leaders. So they can involve the services of the influencers and the key opinion leaders.
That is correct. Central University.
So one of the points he mentioned was the use of social media and digital marketing. So with this use, individuals can invest in the new world of digital services where they can sell their products online, and this can help them to generate revenue with the amount they have. Then the next one was on the aligned with non-political campaigns. So the markets, the individuals can target those part of the customers who do not necessarily concentrate on do not follow the political.
That is correct. Another set of questions, common preamble to both schools. Please do this. Common preamble. We'll still begin with ATU, but it's a common preamble. Serene Insurance Company recently won 4 awards at the 7th Ghana Insurance Awards. You have to identify any 2 of the award categories that they won each. Serene Insurance Company recently won 4 awards at the 7th Ghana Insurance Awards. Identify any 2 of the award categories that they won each. ATU.
They won the Emerging Insurance Company of the Year and Best Insurance Players of the Year.
Best what?
Insurance Company of the Year.
Two out of three. Central University.
So they won the best CSR leadership of the year and then the best growing insurance company of the year.
That is correct. Yes. Next set of questions. This time beginning with Central University. Central, which rating did Fitch Rating Agency give Ghana on its foreign debt? Which rating did Fitch Rating Agency give Ghana on its foreign debt?
CCC.
That is not correct. You have one last chance.
RD.
RD is correct. ATU. Which rating did Fitch Rating Agency give Ghana on its ability to repay its debt in its local currency? Which CCC is correct. Central University, your major question. According to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, the latest confidence surveys indicated some softening of consumer and business sentiments measured by the Purchasing Managers Index, PMI. What was the PMI for June 2024? According to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, latest confidence surveys indicated some softening of consumer and business sentiment, which is measured by the Purchasing Managers Index. What was the PMI for June 2024?
51.1.
That is not correct. You have one last chance.
49.1.
Do you have a bonus for me? ATU.
$478.
Oh, how? It is 49.7. 49.7 is not the same as 49.1. Now to you, ATU. ATU. Still according to the governor, what was the PMI for May 2024? The Purchasing Managers Index for May 2024, ATU.
$49.4.
No, please. You have one last chance.
24.1.
Certainly not correct. Bonus for Central.
51.1.
Oh. This point one is worrying you. It's 51.6. All right. So our last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions for this round. Let's wrap it up. Beginning from ATU. ATU. You know of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, right? Now, at the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, what is the name of the river on which the boats carrying the athletes ride on? The name of the river on which the athletes were taken on. Even bailed out. Bonus for Central.
The Baltic River.
No. No. The Seine River. Now your major question, Central University. Still at the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, where did the boats carrying the athletes head towards? At the opening ceremony On that river, the boat was heading towards a place. What is the name of that place where the boat headed towards?
The Eiffel Tower.
What?
The Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower is correct. And on that note, we come to the end of round 4B, round 4A. We have 2 more rounds to go. The true or false segment as well as the riddle segment. The contest is still very much open between ATU and Central University. A place at the zonal semi-final is at stake. The winner will automatically qualify to that stage. The loser may still qualify depending on your score as the best losing school from the quarterfinal stage. So if you are losing, please make sure you lose well. The scores for round 4A. At the end of round 4A, Accra Technical University had 8 points, Central University had 12 points. We are going into round 4B, and this is a true or false segment. Now in this round, I'm going to read out some statements to you. Your duty is to tell me if that statement is true or false. If you get it correct, you have 2 points. If you get it wrong, you suffer a penalty of -1. You may decide not to answer, in which case the other school may take it up under the same conditions. They get it correct 2, they get it wrong -1. Now you have 10 seconds within which to give me an answer. Each of you will have the opportunity of answering 5 major questions. Of course, there's no bonus here. Are we ready? Central. Are we ready, ATU? We begin this round from the Central University. Central University. In cost accounting, labor costs are considered direct costs only when they can be directly traced to a specific product or service. True or false? In cost accounting, labor costs are considered direct costs only when they can be directly traced to a specific product or service. True or false?
True.
That is correct. Please, no whispering is allowed, we beg you. ATU, direct expenses are always variable and fluctuate with the level of production or sales volume. True or false? Direct expenses are always variable and fluctuate with the level of production or sales volume. True or false?
True.
No, please. Sometimes you can have direct expenses that are fixed. Okay, they are not always variable. Central University. The straight line method of depreciation results in a higher depreciation expense in the earlier years compared to the reducing balance method. True or false? The straight line method of depreciation results in a higher depreciation expense in the earlier years compared to the reducing balance method. True or false?
False.
False is correct. ATU, Accra Technical. Amortization of intangible assets is similar to depreciation but applies to assets with indefinite useful lives. True or false? Amortization of intangible assets is similar to depreciation but applies to assets with indefinite useful lives. True or false?
True.
No. Next set of questions, this time beginning from ATU. Accra Technical University. Semantic barriers in communication arise from differences in language, jargon, and interpretation of words. True or false? Semantic barriers in communication arise from differences in language, jargon, and interpretation of words. True or false?
True.
That is correct. Central University. Physiological barriers to communication are related to the emotional states, attitudes, and perceptions of the communicators. True or false? Physiological barriers to communication are related to the emotional states, attitudes, and perceptions of the communicators. True or false?
True.
No, please. Please, we have already warned that there should be no form of communication. If we see any form of communication, the school will be disqualified. Please take note. ATU. Inelastic demand means that consumers are highly responsive to price changes. True or false? Inelastic demand means that consumers are highly responsive to price changes. True or false?
False.
That is correct. Central University. Elastic demand indicates that demand for a product is relatively unaffected by changes in price. True or false? Elastic demand indicates that demand for a product is relatively unaffected by changes in price. True or false?
False.
Yes. And now for our last set of questions, we begin with Central University. Central University, you end the round for us. The Sharpe ratio measures the risk-adjusted return of an investment by comparing its excess return to its standard deviation. True or false? The Sharpe ratio measures the risk-adjusted return of an investment by comparing its excess return to its standard deviation. True or false?
True.
True is correct. And now to you, ATU, to round this up. Beta measures the total risk of a stock relative to the market. A higher beta indicates higher total risk. True or false? Beta measures the total risk of a stock relative to the market. A higher beta indicates higher total risk. True or false?
True.
No. No. That is not correct. And that is the end of round 4B. We have one final round to go. That is the riddles round. How has it gone so far? ATU.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible. Is everything possible, Central?
We hope for the best.
You hope for the best. So, ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 4B. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 4B, Accra Technical University had 1 point. Central University had 7 points. We have the last round, the riddles. Now in this round, I'm going to give you a set of clues. Your duty is to tell me who or what I am referring to. There will be 3 riddles in all. Now the 2 riddles are open to both of you. The first school to ring their bell will be asked to answer. Let me hear the bell from Accra Technical University. And that of Central University. Now, when you ring your bell, when you ring the bell, you have a maximum of 10 seconds within which to give an answer. If you give a wrong answer, you can no longer partake in that particular riddle. If there are further clues, I'll read them to the hearing of the remaining school. Now, depending on the clue at which you answer, you may get 5 points. If you get it correct on the first clue, 4 points on the second clue, and 3 points on any other clue thereafter. Please, are we ready? ATU, are we ready? Okay, riddle number 1. You want one, you can answer on the first clue. Riddle number 1. I am one of the most common business strategies available to a business inherently related to the concept of the supply chain. 2. I am colloquially referred to as cutting out the middleman. 3. I am a form of vertical integration. Central University.
Value chain.
No. You can no longer partake in this riddle. Accra Technical University. I am a form of vertical integration conducted by a company advancing along the supply chain. 4. While I can be a way to increase a company's control of its product and profits, there can be a danger of diluting the core competence and business. 5. I'm an operational strategy implemented by a company that wants to increase control over its suppliers, manufacturers, or distributors so it can increase its market power. Who am I?
Quotation.
Quotation. Oh. It is known as forward integration. Riddle number 2. Riddle number 2. I am a type of threat in computer security, first used in John Brunner's 1975 novel, The Shockwave Rider. Some of the most common ways by which I spread include through email, networks, system vulnerabilities, file sharing, etc. 3. I am harmful because I may perform a broad range of attacks, including crashing systems through self-replication. Accra Technical University.
Virus.
No. I continue. I am harmful because I may perform a broad range of attacks, including crashing systems through self-replication, downloading malicious applications, and providing hackers with backdoor access to your equipment. The first version of me was named Creeper. Common types after that are Reaper, Morris, SQL Slammer, MyDom, I Love You, etc. 5. I use recursive methods to copy myself without host programs and distribute myself based on exploiting the advantages of exponential growth that's controlling and infecting more and more computers in a short time? Who am I? Yes, Central University.
Kellogg's way.
No, please. You are a worm. Worm. And now the last riddle. Last riddle. One of you should get this for me. I am a type of conjecture used in statistical tests to make statistical inferences. In scientific research, I am the claim that the effect being studied does not exist.
Hypothesis.
What?
Hypothesis.
No, I won't take that. I won't take that. So I continue. I am the basis of the principle of falsification in science. 3. I am a default hypothesis that a quantity to be measured is 0. 4. If I am true, any experimentally observed effect is due to chance alone. And then 5. I can also be described as a hypothesis in which no relationship exists between two sets of data or variables being analyzed. Who am I?
The null hypothesis.
The null hypothesis is correct. The null hypothesis is correct. And on that note, we come to the end of the contest. So our scores for round 5. So ATU had no points in this round. Central University had 3 points. We will wait for the final results, but before then, Accra Technical University, at the start of the contest, you were so confident. Are you confident at the end? That confident at the end?
Yes.
Please don't.
Yes, we still maintain our composure.
Okay, but how did the contest go? Did you meet your expectations? Speak into the microphone. Do not cover it, please.
Not how expected, but we believe we can do better, and we know everything is possible.
What do you think went wrong?
Okay. The preparations wasn't that firm. But we gave in our shots as the host.
Okay. Now, assuming you are not able to make it beyond the quarterfinals stage, assuming you are not able to make it beyond this stage, what will be your major takeaway? Each one of you should speak.
Okay. I personally, I believe in the scriptures. That is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. It said, "The race is not for the swift, neither the battle for the strong, neither the food for the wise, but time and chance happens to them all." So I believe that if we are not able to progress from here, we know this is not our time. When our time comes, we'll make our school proud and everyone here proud.
Okay. Okay, let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. Yes.
Okay, I have learned about teamwork. My takeaway is about teamwork and consultation. At least before you speak, you should share ideas before.
Okay, all right. How about you?
Mine too is all about self-confidence. Another one would be the essence of a team. I've been hearing that the power of a team is the individual members, and that of the individual members is a team. But this morning, I have testified the practical aspects of it.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Central University. Now, How do you assess the contest that just went by? Your general impression of the contest. Speak into the microphone. The voice of the people. Let's hear from you, madam. Your general impression about the contest.
I give all the glory to God because we came this far by His grace.
Now, did you meet your expectations in this contest, Central University? Did you meet your expectations?
Not really, but we're able to put ourselves together in the end when we didn't start on a good note. And I want to say this. We are not Pep, but we've won in another one city.
All right. So Central, assuming you are not able to go beyond this stage, what will be the major takeaway for each one of you? Each one of you should speak to me.
So my takeaway is we'll go and then come back very strong.
Okay. All right. So each one of you is speaking, please.
So there are a number of things we need to put in place. We need to learn how to work faster and better. So I'm sure we'll be able to work on that and improve immensely for the next time and even in the nationals.
All right. And then to you, madam. Hey.
We encourage more on teamwork and more preparation.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first quarter-final contest, Southeast Zone, between Central University and the Accra Technical University has come to an end. It was a contest of emotions and that of academic brilliance. At the end of the contest, our final results. Accra Technical University had 26 points. Central University had 40 points. So by this result, Central University has qualified automatically to the semi-final stage of the zonal championship. By this result also, they have qualified as one of the representatives for this zone at the national championship. Please clap for them. So they will get to know their next opponent later tomorrow. Accra Technical University, you gave it your all, but unfortunately it wasn't enough on the day. But let us see if the score that you have, 26, it is quite high. Let's see if it will give you a chance to still come back on this stage. But even if it doesn't, you have done well, and we thank you so much for making an appearance on this stage. Now to you, ladies and gentlemen, my studio audience, and those of you watching from online, we thank you so much for being part of this contest. Special appreciation to the organizers, Graphic Business, ICAG, and GTEC. To our sponsors, MTN, PwC, Glycolife, CompuGhana, and the Ghana National Association of Teachers. To our media partners, TV3, Daily Graphic, Graphic Online. And to my technical team, David Abel, Prosper Zuma, NSJC, Felix Stein, Hussein Zachary, Jacob Doku, Francis, Yvonne Ayi, Asari, and Emmanuel Amamu. Thank you so much for making sure this contest came to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. The next contest, second quarterfinal contest, will be between the University of Ghana and the Heritage Christian University College. Thank you so much for being part of this contest. I'll see you in the next contest. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule, and I love academic violence. I'll see you later.
Great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and